What's going on, guys? I figured I'd do a video, show you how I set up my Seadoo Spark tricks for spearfishing and the rack that I made for it. In my earlier video, you guys seen how I mounted the GoPro, this case right here, and my speaker mount. And now I'll show you guys how I did this rack. So as you guys know, on the Spark, you have these through holes right here that go all the way through the hull. There's one there, and there's one right here, and that's for the canopy, the aftermarket canopy that goes over the top to keep you in the shade. So what we did was we used a 1/4 inch or 3/8 through rod, basically, and did some nuts and washers on the bottom and nuts and washers on the top, and then did the same thing on the top and put a PVC cap, drilled through the cap, and it's got nuts and washers on the inside. Then this is all 1.5 inch PVC that I spray painted and put all together. I mean, this is just how I made my rack. You can make your rack completely different. My Dive Buddies is completely different than this, but same type of system basically. As you can see, for feet, I use these rubber caps. Looks like this actually needs to be retightened a little bit, but you have another leg in the back there. So essentially you have this bolt down point, you have a foot here and a foot here, and then the same thing on the other side. Then I use these bungees to hold it down. I mean, I can't even pull this thing off the ski. It's definitely on there tight. This piece right here is for my dive flag when we're drifting. I have it threaded in the top, and then this end is threaded as well. So when we pull up, I just take these bungees off. These bungees are all over my ski. They're on Amazon. Very useful. I cut a piece of PVC down in half, put some foam underneath it, and that's where my dive flag goes. Sponge it on, you can just take it off, screw it in. Right here is my stringer. So I can just pull the stringer out and lay it down. Basically drop it in the water for when I'm drifting. And just put that back in. Reverse the process. Okay, on this side, I have net that I made out of basically a soccer net. Then I took these wire wraps, wrapped it around, and tied it up down on the bottom. I'll show you guys pictures too throughout this of what that rack actually looks like without all this gear on it. Here's my dive bag, or my fin bag that I use. I put my knife in there, I put a dry bag in here as well, and then I close it all up, and nothing has ever fallen out. Right here is my boat hook, in case I never need to get something out of the water. You can just pull this off. So I have a T right here, and then I just came up with a piece of pipe. I had one on this side, and surprisingly it snapped clean off when I had a little bit larger boat hook. I was just riding normally, and the thing looked back and it was gone. So underneath, this is how I have them joined together. I heated it up here in the middle and gave a bend to it, and then there's two fittings, one here and one here. It's kind of hard to see. Like I said, I'll put up some pictures for you guys. And I took some smaller PVC pipe to put across. I bolted down another Pelican case, and inside here is where I keep my dive weights. Obviously accessible from the ski side. That red tide, yeah, it's back. Over here is where I keep my guns. So I used these rubber straps off of Amazon as well to strap down my guns. I just bolted them through this rack. On the inside here is a little piece of foam so that my gun doesn't scratch, but this thing doesn't go anywhere when my guns are attached to it. This is what the other side looks like. So they just strap up. I think they actually make them for fire extinguishers or for off-road, like holding a shovel or an axe or something. So I got my Rob Allen on there and my red tide. On top of that is my float. Strap that down. Again, I put some of these bungees on here. These things are awesome. I use them all over the place. Got some rope, extra rope if I needed to. Right here I have a line that's tied down to the rack, which hooks up my guns. If for some reason I ever did flip and something happened and the gun came off, it's still attached to the ski. I will not lose it. But yeah, that's pretty much how I set up my ski for spearfishing. These things are awesome for spearfishing because of the fuel economy. You can get in and out of places really easy. Right here is where I keep my drift line and my dock line. So I just got a little bag, little dry bag hooked up. Goes through the center console and then strap back down. It's new this year. I haven't put that on before. It's the first time I'm trying that out, but I think it'll be a little bit easier than putting this stuff inside the float line. I mean, sorry, inside the bin where I keep my anchor. So that's how I keep my anchor and my dive vest. I can show that setup though for another video. How I actually set up my anchor line. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Appreciate you guys watching. And hope you guys all have a great season.